Hello everybody, welcome to Cosmic Waves Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you as always for spending some time with me. Today we have a reading for everyone, and this is another love reading. It is focused on if you are looking for someone. So I'm going to shuffle and ask the tarot for some insight for the collective as to when your person may be coming and how you might find them. I know a lot of people are always wondering and reaching out about romance questions, so I hope that this will be helpful for you. As always, if you would like an individual reading, please do comment and reach out to me. I love to do individual readings as well. So I'm going to shuffle one more time, asking for some good insight. Where is your person? When are they coming? How will they find you? We have the Star, a beautiful card to start out with. The Five of Discs, which is called Destitution in this deck, and the Hierophant. So this is a really interesting spread because we have two major arcana cards and a minor arcana, which is discs. So I don't see any cups, which is traditionally the suite of the tarot associated with relationships and romance, but that doesn't mean that someone is not coming for you soon. So let's break down each card, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I think for the overall reading. I'll start here with the Hierophant. It is a major arcana card, as I said. So the major arcana gives us the strongest energy or the clearest reading. The Hierophant is all about knowledge and traditional structures. As you can see, this art in this deck, he's dressed up kind of like a cardinal or a priest, some sort of religious figure. We can tell by his robes and this cross that he's holding, as well as his hat. He's also standing in kind of this pious or like he's preaching type of stance. So when the Hierophant comes up, it often encourages us to look to more traditional structures for meaning and knowledge in our lives. So sometimes, if you're going through a difficult situation, it encourages you to look to organized religion or spirituality. It encourages you to look to a teacher, maybe even to go back to school and have some sort of really structured learning about a certain topic. So when this card comes up in a romance reading, it makes me think that you will find someone who is a good fit for you in this type of setting. So whether you're going back to school or if religion does play an important part of your life, I do think that finding someone with those same interests in that type of community might be the way to move forward. Even if you don't necessarily think that you want to start dating within your school or your church or some sort of other organization, maybe even going to the library or events where you are learning something and can meet like-minded people could be a very fruitful opportunity. This also may speak to the type of person that you are looking for. And the Hierophant is all about a teacher, someone you look up to, someone that you can learn from, someone that has a lot of knowledge that they can share with you. So maybe also you are looking in your relationship for someone who has that sort of knowledge, that worldliness. There's something that they can teach you. There's something that you look up to in them. And if that is the case, then Sometimes you look towards people who are older than you, but not necessarily. Just in general, someone who has more experience in a certain area. Then let's move on to the Five of Discs, which is called Destitution. This is usually a bit of a difficult card. 5 in the tarot is a card number associated with constriction or limits, a little bit of stress, and discs, also known as pentacles, correspond to wealth, money, your physical body, all the things that you can touch and feel. So adding these two themes of money or your health and the 5 number associated with constriction and difficulty, this gives us this theme of destitution. You're going through maybe a difficult time related to your finances or a difficult time in your health. So I don't necessarily love to see this in a reading about romance, but maybe it is showing that even if you're going through a hard time, you'll find someone in that time of your life. Maybe you do need to go through some sort of transformation in this area in order to meet someone. Maybe this relationship kind of happens when you're at a sort of, I don't want to say rock bottom because that sounds very dramatic, but maybe when you're sort of at a low point associated with these themes. Hopefully, dating and looking for someone does not bring you to this point of destitution. We never want to overextend ourselves and our resources in that way. But maybe it's something to look out for if you're going through a hard time and feeling like, oh, I'm not sure if this is the right time to start dating. Maybe it actually is a good time to keep an eye out for a relationship because it might come to you in this period. It is also interesting to see this card and the Hierophant come up together because traditionally in the Rider-Waite-Smith art of the tarot, there's 2 figures that are passing a church. And the message of this card is that you can always look outside yourself for help. If only these 2 people look up out of the snow, they see that they're passing a church. We see the same imagery here with this stained glass window. So you can always look for other sources of support. There are people there to help you. And because they're passing a church, which is a place of sanctuary, a place of charity, they would find someone like this Hierophant inside of that church. So even if you are going through a difficult time, but there's things and resources and people you can look to, and that might also play a part of this story of finding a relationship, finding someone that you're looking to start dating. I also see this theme of coming out of a difficult period also here with the Star. The Star is another major arcana card. It's very, very beautiful, and it represents optimism and a renewal of faith after a difficult time. The Star in the tarot comes right after the Tower, which is one of the more difficult and chaotic cards. So when the Star comes up, it's kind of a breath of fresh air. You look around and you say, okay, now I can focus again. Now I feel a renewed sense of optimism and hope. You're reconnected with yourself, and you're ready to move forward towards your biggest dreams. So it's a very beautiful, intuitive card. It does feature a lot of water, as we see here in this card and also in the traditional imagery. So it does kind of correspond to that inner, intuitive, emotional side as well. So putting all 3 cards together, it does tell a story of if you've been going through a more difficult time. It doesn't have to be necessarily that dramatic, but if you felt a little out of sorts, Maybe you feel a little bit disconnected to yourself, your physical body, your health. Maybe your home is a little out of sorts, or you're feeling like financially you're not quite where you want to be. Maybe you've been focusing on that area of your life. But if you start looking to sources of support outside yourself, including more traditional structures like spirituality, religion, more education, things of that nature, then this might prompt this sort of renewed optimism and hope and faith in yourself. And I think that internal change will then help bring about a mental state where you are ready to meet someone new. So I hope that this reading resonates and makes sense for you. As I said in the beginning, I'm very happy to do individual readings as well. So if this did resonate, please do let me know. If you're thinking, no, this wasn't my reading, then please reach out and I'd be happy to do your reading as well. Regardless, if this is what you're going through, or if just in general you're looking for someone, I wish you all the success in the world. I know that you will find your relationship and your perfect person soon. So keep in line with the star. Don't lose faith and stay optimistic. Stay true to yourself. As always, I'm wishing everyone the best. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.